Hello and welcome to Bashani Radio, iHeartRadio Worldwide. You are now tuned into Entrepreneur Empowered. I'm your host, Attorney Sid Bedinti. In today's show, I'm going to walk you through a simple set of systems that can help you build and manage a recession-proof firm. When I'm talking about recession-proof, I'm talking about a business and a company, a stream of revenue that does not get impacted by the economy, that is able to generate consistent revenue month after month, year after year, decade after decade for you, for your family, regardless of how the economy and the market is performing. So I've used this process now over the last 15 to 17 years, building, testing, launching, expanding, and even selling a few of the companies that this model has been tested with. One has been in manufacturing, one is in consulting, one has been in technology, a couple law firms, product firms, e-commerce firms. I mean, you name it, we've applied these strategies. So let's dig right into it, discover what these are, and figure out if some of these can help you. So what can you expect, first of all? Number one, I'm going to talk about strategies that you can implement. Number two, I have tried to design this so that it's sort of interactive. If you have any questions as you're listening to this, make sure you reach back to me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of those for you and walk you through those so you have complete clarity. Number three, I'm going to go pretty fast in this presentation. And if you have any questions or if you need the slides, feel free to reach back to me after the show, and I'll be more than happy, once again, to share that with you and to answer any questions that you have. The diagnosis that we do is the first step, right? And our approach. The second thing is the prescription, finding out what we need to fix in our business. The last thing is trying to drill down to the issues and fix them. Who am I? What do I do? Why am I doing this? How am I able to help you restructure your business quickly so it's recession proof? I am a business and intellectual property attorney from Los Angeles. I've been a technology entrepreneur as well for the better half of the decade now. And over the last 13 years, I've also been managing a bankruptcy and restructuring practice in Toronto. If you're watching the video, this is a picture of my family and I. That's my beautiful, lovely wife, and that's my daughter. These are the people that inspire me, to motivate me. They motivate me, they help me do what I do, wake up in the morning, go out there and crush it so that they can be better off. Couple disclaimers, as always, this is not meant to be legal advice. Please make sure that you seek the advice of an attorney or an accountant or somebody else relevant to your area in your jurisdiction. The results may vary based on the case situation. Okay, so number one, what is a recession-proof business? Let's start there. So what is it? It's one where you have a robust foundation, one that is unaffected by the economy, that is profitable and you can sustain profit levels, one that is agile and adaptive to the market so that you can stay evolving, right? You're evolving with the changing tides. Lastly, where your assets are completely protected and your risk and conflicts from different sides of the business have been predicted and mitigated. So why should you focus on developing these systems so that you have a recession-proof business? Well, it's pretty simple. Number one, you can generate more revenue, so more money in your pocket. Number two, you'll have more control over your business and how you manage it. Number three, you'll have greater freedom once you have a bit more automation, once you can predict the revenue every month. You'll be able to make financial decisions in your business and your personal life with more planning, with more accuracy, and with more confidence. So that's why focusing on how to build a recession-proof business using technology, using different marketing avenues, using different streams of revenue is extremely important. Think about what's really holding you back right now from accomplishing some of this, right? Is it marketing? Maybe it's a lack of leads. Perhaps it's a lack of structure in your business, or it might not even be consistency. Maybe there's not enough cash flow for you to generate momentum, right? Maybe you don't have the confidence to make videos, to shoot pitches, to go talk to clients one on one, or make a phone call. Maybe you have no strategy in place, right? What about time? What about resources, internal mechanisms? Maybe you're wearing just too many hats, you have no help. Maybe you're just in the wrong market offering wrong services, right? That people don't want to buy. Perhaps there's no automation or technology, everything's too manual, right? These are all very valid reasons that entrepreneurs and business owners face at every stage of growth, not just the startups, but every stage, right? So think about which one of these factors is holding you back. I also want you to think about your income last year, all right? Last month or last year. And where would you like it to be in the next 12 months? So a year from now, where do you see yourself? What sort of monthly revenue and yearly revenue would you like to be generating? So close your eyes for a second, or if you're driving, I don't want you to do that, but just think with your eyes open. Dream about this for a second, right? Visualize the number clear as day, whether it's 100,000, 500,000, $1 million, $10 million. Visualize that number. Think about what you want for yourself, for your family. It could be in terms of clients. So for example, I like to think in terms of number of clients. 50 clients into my program this year is in the next 6 months is what I'm aiming for. That's a number that I visualize, right? And so the revenue is obviously based on that. So now I want you to do the money math. What amount? Okay, so that number, whatever you came up with. So let's take $100,000, right? Or if your goal is $1 million, okay, or $500,000. Let's go with $500,000. So every month you want to generate $50,000, for example. Then, and you know that you're pitching a product, let's say at $2,000, just for simplicity. Then you know you need roughly 25 of those, right? If you have a product that is $100 and you're trying to hit a goal of $1,000, you need to sell 10 of those. If you have a product that's $500, you need to sell 2 of those to hit the $1,000 in additional revenue every month, right? So break down the total goal that you have, revenue goal, divided by the products or services that you're selling, so cost per transaction or price per transaction, and figure out how many you need to do, right, in every month and every year in order for you to hit your goals. So let's really now dig down into that concept. It's time to focus. Let's go ahead and start the first step. Let's take a look at your present business model and diagnose why, number one, companies fail, right? Everyone's talking about why companies are successful, or you hear these million-dollar stories, but as a bankruptcy attorney, I know the truth, and I've seen behind the scenes the reality that 50% of all companies fail in the first 5 years. 66, that's 2/3 of them, fail in the first 10 years. Okay? And almost 75 of them are gone or wiped out. They're vanished in 20 to 25 years. So the businesses that you see that claim they are more than 25 and 30 years old are only the top 25% that have ever survived. In other words, these are the best of the best of the best. Okay? It could be competition. It could be burnout. It could be bankruptcy. All of these are a result of or a means of why businesses fail, and a result of why, when somebody crashes a business, what happens? It could be due to competitors, just too much. You may have been working too hard and you just burn out, which happens a lot. Or you just don't make the wrong decisions and you go bankrupt. Okay, so you got to be best of the best or you're going to disappear. Here's a question. Have you ever wondered why so many business owners, smart, savvy, problem solvers like you and I, right? The business owners, why so many of them are struggling? I personally don't think it's vision. They all have vision. That's why they're in business. It's obviously not drive, right? They've taken the step to start a business. And perhaps you have as well. If you're an entrepreneur, you have the drive, you have the vision, you have the mindset, you have the determination, you have the motivation. So, what is it that drives you to failure, that drives businesses to fail? It's plain and simple. Just like in any sport, you need your form, you need structure, you need organization, you need to be accountable. You have to have direction, you have to have help, you have to have coaching, mentorship. You need resources in order to make it successfully. Okay? And that's what it is. Think about your own business. Do you have those things around you? Do you have someone to call up and say, hey, I'm considering taking this new gig, or I'm putting this sort of an ad? What do you think? What about a second opinion? So a lot of times that's all it is. The fact of the matter is that small businesses have been set up to fail. So it's not your fault, okay? And I want you to feel bad. Having dealt with over 5,000 bankruptcy cases, over 2,000 of those are businesses from virtually every single industry you can think about, from attorneys to realtors, accountants, insurance, entertainment, consultants, coaches, franchises, e-commerce products, farmers, butchers, slaughterhouses. We've done it all. Bankruptcy for all those. The reason most of these businesses have gone broke is because they had no structure, they had no system, they had no automation. They're all over the place. They're running their ads and marketing based on luck, without any science, data, or research. And they're doing everything manually from the lead generation process, okay? So here's 3 simple signs of a broken model. Number 1, it's too manual. Lead generation to the follow process. If you don't do it, it's not getting done. Number 2, there's no focus. You are wearing way too many hats. You are chasing clients, you're chasing different things in your business instead of focusing on growing. And number 3, you are dependent on your business, and your business is dependent on you. If you stop, it stops. So at that point, it's self-employed, right? You are self-employed. You stop working, your employment stop working. What you want to do is make a slight mind shift in getting away from the negative ROI and thinking about building a business, building a brand that can do a lot of these things by itself. The people who failed to do this ended up in my bankruptcy offices over the years. If you're watching this picture and looking at this, you can see here over the years different ads we've put, right, over the last 12, 13 years. So I want you to think for a second, which one of those things I mentioned is your biggest challenge? Is it a lack of automation? Is it too much, a lack of focus, wearing too many hats? Or is it a lack of independence in your business, right? It's dependent completely on you. Which one of those is the biggest challenges? Think for a second. So, that's likely the reason your revenue is not where you want it to be, if that's something, or your business is not where it wants to be, if that's something on your mind, and the reason why many entrepreneurs make mistakes. So what's the second step? It's designing a prescription to fix those issues. So now that we've identified 3 specific signs of a broken model, let's dive into the 3 strategic phases, shifts that you can make in order to build and scale a recession-proof business. The first thing you want to do is digitize operations. Second thing you want to do is start publicizing, right? More automatically. And lastly, monetize the skills in diverse ways. And so in that process, the first step is to attract leads, have a system that qualifies them, have a system that converts them, and lastly, that generates referrals. So here's a simple system And once again, if you know, I have a slideshow that I'm reading off here, a simple workflow that I put together. I will be more than happy to share this with you. The simple workflow that you can incorporate in your business right now, today, so that you have more automation, you start doing things a bit more automatically, right? A bit more um, with more productivity, with more efficiency. So the first step is to digitize your knowledge, so convert it online. Second step is to publicize it using a diverse range of assets, right? And marketing creatives. Test different messages. Focus on capturing. And once you capture the information, you either drive them to a webinar, a phone call, or an event on one side, and the other side, you're educating them with emails and pre-selling content, right? Repurposing the same content and then driving them back to the webinar, phone call, or event with slightly different objectives. That's the process of driving referrals, driving a simple system. Here's something that I want you to think about. A lot of times it comes down to marketing. List all the different marketing avenues, what you think you should be doing and using in your business right now. Right? So social, Facebook, LinkedIn, Skype, Twitter, Gmail, um, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest. These are all the social avenues. Then you have email marketing. Then you have actual mail. You have flyers. You have content distribution. You have physical doorknob hangers. You have billboards, outdoor symbols, sponsorships, partnerships, joint venture dealings, licensing. These are all different ways to market yourself. Which of those do you think you should be using and what are you not using? Right? Think about all those things. Those are the gaps. Stop juggling around and thinking about what you need to do and start executing. The problem with this manual model, if you're using one where you're physically doing a lot of this stuff yourself and your business is reliant on you, the problem is that it can get tiring, it can be extremely exhausting, and it can get super confusing after a time, running around in circles. So what you want to do is make a switch from blocked to a flood, where if you have no clients coming in, your revenue channels are blocked, and if it's a tap, think about a tap, right? If it's closed, no water's coming out, you're in critical situation. That's a red line. You can go bankrupt if things don't change soon. Maybe you have a few clients coming in, but still there's a lot of holes in the process. People are not attracted and converted and engaged properly. Maybe there's a slight trickle. You have more flow coming in. Perhaps you have a steady flow of business in your business already, of steady flow of clients. Lastly, you want to be at the recession proof, where it's a flood of clients coming in consistently every single day. The aim is to build a highway, not just a small street. Right? Install automation like your GPS so that it can work behind the scenes for you and you can focus on staying the course. This is a system that you need if you want to build clients every single day to your practice, whatever practice you're in. If you want to generate revenue every single day, you need automation. There's just no way around it. First step is to plant the seeds and then let them cultivate so you can start enjoying the fruits of it forever. So let's talk about the ever evolving and growing database, right? How do you keep attracting new clients, growing your database, having more users? Well, number one, you can do paid advertising. Number two, you can use things that you already own, which are your emails. These are your owned assets. And lastly, you can use a referral or influencer blogging type marketing channel that generates massive leads. If you learn how to do this and understand how to do this, you may unlock a system that can help you generate referrals upon referrals and track them. And in other words, imagine bringing a lead in. So you pay for an ad, a lead comes into the system, registers, and now they're incentivized to share a piece of content that is relevant, that has authority, that has value to them. They share it with their audience, which brings in more referrals. And that process continues and continues and continues, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers down the line. So one lead can essentially, again, as you're watching the picture here, one lead can generate 10, 20, 30, 40 additional clients, referrals for free if you understand how to do it, right? The power of installing a simple system like that, what I've just mentioned and showed you, is that you have the means, the mechanisms, the tools to generate infinite ROI. Look, we've made this super simple for you. We have the templates, everything's in place. All you got to do is plug it and use it. Okay? I've even have examples of templates for my own bankruptcy firm. Things that I set up in 2007, 11 years ago, that I'm still using in an automated way to generate clients. The advantages of technology and using a simple system and mechanics, like as I'm describing to you, is that it's consistent, it's predictable, it's automated, it works behind the scenes. This is something we've done thousands of times. We've used it for a variety of businesses, as you can see here, ranging from Alzheimer's Society to Property Guys to Carter's Oshkosh to John Grisham, Pizza, Marriott, Starbucks, JP Morgan. We've been using and deploying these strategies for large companies. Okay, so I just want to do a quick check-in. Where are you in this process? What do you need to hit your goals? Is it automation? Is it more marketing? Is it more conversions? What is it? What can solve your problem? If you're still doing a manual system, if you're still selling manually, the problem is that every hat is yours. You have to wear the lead generation hat, the secretary hat, the closer, the screener, the performer, the deliverer, and ultimately manage your business. Every step is you. You're focused on selling. That's the problem. What my aim is to do is to provide you with this system, a simple workflow, as I've been talking about, that can automate everything. So as you shoot, for example, a video or a podcast, imagine that works behind the scenes in an automated way, providing tons of value that can convert in the masses, right? Helping you boost authority, helping you become the influencer, helping you control what your sales can be. Here's some examples of that with the system. We use this for Domino's, and as you can see, we've had a total of 63% increase in visitors, almost 43% increase in new email captures, and 88% reduction in the overall budget. And lastly, a 45% reduction in cost per acquisition per name. Is that amazing? How would that help you in your business? Think about that right now. If you could slash the cost to acquire a new lead by half, and at the same time increase the emails that you generate by 50%. So for Domino's, in this case, the new opt-in value, direct sales from this, I think we tried it for a month, was about 70 grand, and they redeemed $23,000 of coupons. Direct sales resulted in 125 grand. Here's an example from my own professional bankruptcy firm using this particular structure. So over a course of, this is 3 weeks, we generated roughly 3,600 contacts, out of which 85% were earned media, which means that I didn't pay for those. Most of those were self-generated. As you can see here, there's 313 shares that were generated from content that I wrote for my bankruptcy firm. How to avoid debt, right? How to fight debt, how to become debt-free. That article got shared 313 times, out of which 85% of my new leads, new contacts that came to my system, over 3,600 of them, right? So roughly 3,000 of them came directly for free. Here's another example how we use this for JP Morgan Chase. They wanted to attract new customers for a credit card, a credit program that they started for businesses. We were able to get 50% reduction in cost per name, a 75% overall reduction in the budget, a 36% direct sale as a result of online advertising, and 64% of the visits that were generated were from referrals. Okay? Isn't that amazing? That 65% roughly of all the visitors were for free from referrals themselves. So that's the prescription, installing automation. Let's now dig into the chunk. And how do you drill into your business and fill up the gaps using the systems that I just discovered, that I told you about? It's called the digitize, publicize, monetize system. It's the use of technology to power your growth. Okay, so if you're ready, let's dive in. It's the process of digitizing information, publicizing it using a mixture of social, digital, influencer, traditional, and email systems, testing different messages, capturing information, educating them, and pre-selling them behind the scenes, and at the same time driving them to conversion points. Variety of conversion points: a webinar, event, sales training session, phone call, in-person office visit, whatever you want, right? And testing a combination of those so that you can monetize effectively. So the first strategic shift you need to do in your business is digitize operations. Digitize the business model, your marketing model, the pricing systems, and the financial system. Okay, these are your core business foundation. So in terms of a workflow, as I just described, you want to have it as automated as possible. You want to have a variety of traffic sources. So in this case, in my own business and bankruptcy law firm, here's the example I use. We've had influencers who write about finance sponsor a message, speak about us. We've had social media sharing campaigns generated earned revenue. So this is earned leads, earned media, which is referrals. We also did targeted Facebook and Google ads and YouTube ads, so we have paid ads. We had existing lists and emails, so we were able to send strong messages that excited people and incentivized them to share different articles that we published. And lastly, link from print. We had flyers and we sent them out. So the audience targeting was definitely geographic. We used a variety of demographics and interests in order to ascertain who they are. Next, we followed up by activating influencers, followers, and contacts. So the conversion mechanisms were that we had a simple segmenting question so that we can screen clients. On the back end, we had 6 supporting, nurturing emails explaining, educating, incentivizing, and take action. And on the front end, we have a pop-up on the website incentivizing them for a deal, and 3 simple workflows to keep them in the process. Okay, hopefully this makes sense to you. As you track them, the next step is conversion, but before the conversion comes the education and the engagement. And so that's where emails, Facebook, as well as your own technology can make a big difference. Once you do, you have different automated and streamlined conversion mechanisms so you can even handle mass conversion. The trick is to do the attraction with absolute precision. And so the Facebook allows you to do that. Marketing on Facebook and Google allows you to do that. I have a template here that I can share with you that describes the business model. In terms of your ideal client, think about who would be happy to pay you. Think about their age, their income, their family status, as well as some of their interests, right? Think about their professions, their online behavior. When are they surfing the web? Where are they living? What locations? And in your client pinpointing system, you want to break these down, right? And be as specific as possible. The next is offering what you want to do in your business model. Do you want to be a specialist or a generalist or somewhere in between? In other words, did you want to offer a few services for very few people or many services for many people? If you're thinking about pricing models, think about 4 different systems that impact the price. An ideal price should have profit, time, delivery mechanism, and the ability to scale built into it. You want to think about probably 1 or 2 hot products that you can sell. First one being an entry level, and second one your signature, your main hot product. How many hours does it take for you to complete one transaction? How many can you handle every month? These are some of the things you want to consider. When you think about marketing model automation, you want to mix in social and digital strategies. So we have Facebook. Here we have more specifically organic growth strategies, a steady growth strategy, conversion driven strategy, something to do with Facebook Live, as well as different groups. Then you have Google and YouTube marketing. You may have Instagram, Snapchat, or emails and different lists that you already possess. In terms of traditional marketing, you can try flyers, try radio, TV, you can try sponsorships, or even joint partnerships. Let's talk about money math. Integrating all these different transactions, right? All these different strategies that we just spoke about. If you are trying to make $10,000 a month in addition to what you're doing right now, at $1,000 a piece, again, it's 10 of them. So you need to figure out what your conversion percent is. If 50% of all visitors are people you pitch to convert, then you know you need to pitch. If you need to close 10 deals, you need to be pitching 20. If you know that only 10% of all the people who viewed an ad go and click on the actual content, and from there only 10% actually view and engage and register, and only 10% actually book a booking for you, then you know that down the line, at every layer, you can figure out the math behind it. So if you're pitching 20 people per month, out of which 10 convert, and only 10% are going from viewer to subscriber, so you have 20 people who booked something, maybe 100 people opted in, 1,000 people viewed your page, and 10,000 people viewed your ad, right? Maybe 1 million impressions are generated for this. So if you can get 1 million impressions on Facebook, and let's say your budget was $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, and using and deploying the email generation referral marketing workflows, where after the first month or two, you're using your client's money to keep growing your business. Using these different strategies is very important doing the money math in your business so you can figure out exactly what you need. So the first shift, like I said, is digitizing the services, making sure things are online via PDFs, via social media ads, via traditional ads. Everything you have is digitized, a way to track them. The second shift is to publicize the services. So here we have Facebook ads and community, Google ads, YouTube, influencers, market leaders, traditional marketing. Here's a simple mechanism, a 10-step process you can follow. After you build a model, you launch the ads, you have an auto capturing mechanism, a landing page, a second landing page to engage them, an email sequence that auto pre-sells them behind the scenes, a referral mechanism system built in so they can share the content that you're sharing with them. From there, it goes to the auto booking mechanism. It goes to the auto conversion mechanism, where you can pitch and close, scale and expand. So these are the different systems that you can use. I have a Facebook template here that you're more than happy to use. Feel free to reach out to me at the end of the show, or if you're watching the video, at the end of the video, and reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to share this particular Facebook template with you, a step-by-step approach. The aim of Facebook is not of the sale, it's to generate a click, it's to engage them. And so the key factors you want to think about in your Facebook ad: number one, capture attention. Number two, create some sort of a connection. Number three, address the issue on hand or apply a solution to the problem. Number four, figure out and expect how you can benefit. What can they expect? What are the benefits? Give them a timed offer. That is something that is prompting the next step. Have a picture that really stands out, captures attention, a strong headline, a call to action button if you want one. Lastly, a phone number and email if you want to have that in place. Using the system, as you can see here, we have produced a variety of ads that we've been able to get passed and approved where other firms haven't even tried them. And this is in the bankruptcy industry. Here's a Google AdWords builder, which is slightly different. As you know, Google has a limit on characters, 90 characters that go on. And in terms of text and the headlines, it's only 30 characters. So how you implement a strong attention-grabbing headline and lead hooks may become very important. So once again, reach out to me. I'll send you that template. And part of the third shift is monetizing your skills. So focusing on automation, on ROI, on the selling process, the referral generation process. In terms of creating a magnet, something that can attract your clients, think about top problems you can solve. Think about consequences of solving those problems. Think about the result of not fixing those problems for your client and how and why somebody should deal with you and why you can fix it for them. That's your magnet. That's what you want to write about. Here's a simple template, a landing page template. Once you generate the magnet, you have it on your landing page so that you can use it to attract the right clients. Next, we have a screening automation. Make sure it's detailed. Make sure it's pre-sold. Make sure it's for A-level. The thank you page, the action page. So in terms of sequence, once again, you have your ad. It goes to a simple lead capturing page, which are microsites, essentially. You can develop multiple channels and multiple demographics using these micro pages so that you can test different messages and have different products in your firm. Once they automatically register, the next step is to get them to prompt to share it, as you see here, like this. Once they share this message, automatically you get a referral from them. Isn't that amazing? Here's a stat I wanted to provide to you. We got 160 opt-ins, so new leads from people sharing our content. Take a look at these emails. 6 to 8 automated emails once somebody registers, automatically nurturing them, educating them, pre-selling them behind the scenes before we even talk to them. That way they can fill out a form, which is automated. And so all we have to do in our firm now is screen the form and give them a call and close the deal. Because by then they're already sold, they already know what to expect. Once they do on the phone call, we have a very specific format that we use, the client screening call. This is one that I developed and tested and have perfected over the years. A 9 to roughly 13 minute script, the whole phone call. Here's an example. Hi. So let's presume that it's the phone call. Hi, can I speak to Mr. Sid? Hi Sid, how are you today? I have a reminder that we have a quick 10-minute strategy session booked today. Is this still a good time to dive into your business model quickly and determine whether or not we can help you? And if we can't, we'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction so you can get the help you need. Does this sound okay to you? Does that make sense? Yes, sir, it does. Okay, great. Well, we have about 10 minutes today, and my job today is not to sell you anything, but just to analyze your business, make an assessment about what and if we can help you out today. I have a few questions to ask you in order to make a good reading. There's no sales pitch involved, as once again, and I'm just trying to find out more about you. So, do you mind if I ask you a bunch of questions about your business? Yes, go ahead. Why don't you tell me about your personal information? Who are you? Why don't you tell me about your business? Well, and here at this point now you can break down into different questions that apply to your specific industry, the things you want to find out. But by having this sort of an icebreaker where you're setting the scene, you're setting the stage, you're asking permission to ask questions, you're giving them a format and describing what they can expect, you are breaking down the barriers to entry and you're breaking down their guard, right? Helping them get over this phase that, okay, well, this guy's not trying to sell me something. And for you, what you're trying to do is at the same time is figure out if they're a right fit for you. So what are some of the things you want to try and find out, right? You want to try to find out what I call the BANT system. Budget, authority, is there a need for it, and is this a time for it? Do they have the budget to afford you? Are they the right key individuals who have the authority to make a decision? Is there a need for your service, and is this the right time to engage with you? So business information, personal information, you want to find out who it is, background about them, you want to find out again who, what the situation is, the reason for the, why they are where they are, what are some of the consequences or pressure points, and lastly, financial outcomes, always the hot buttons. Offer the fix, right? Try to sell without selling. What is your analysis? Oh, it sounds like your top 3 problems are blah, blah, blah. Articulate this problem for them. What is the reason for your analysis? Give them simple layman terms to help them identify what they're facing. Help them remind them of what they're doing, right? What can you do to solve their problem? Offer them magic pills. Give them solutions. Create a simple 3-step system like I did today and walk them through that. What do you foresee happening if they don't solve the problem quickly? So these are the consequences. The problem that I foresee if you don't change your business model, especially if you're operating manually in a way that is slow-paced without leads, as I said, you need to digitize your information, you need to publicize more, and you need to monetize yourself in different ways. And so the same way, what offer can you give to your clients, right? What fixes? What's the next step? How do you onboard them? And so here we go back to the workflow again, right? The onboarding step. So you want to try and emphasize not the logistics of it. The logistics don't really matter. How do you make the close, right? The conversion. It's not the logistics. It's about the benefit, the profit of dealing with you. That's what you want to focus on. In my situation here, I'm going to give you detailed analytics and show you how you can read below the line and above the line advertising using technology. So using this system again, you can see here that by tracking it, you can generate referrals for free. It's infinite. You can develop a system that has infinite ROI. You can use it for many years to come. It's absolutely economy proof. It'll give you the peace of mind knowing that your ads in your business are safe, that they're going and you're getting revenue. So here's the bottom line. The last, word of advice about this is that you have to evolve, you have to upgrade yourself, you have to keep pushing, keep testing new things, keep digitizing yourself, or you will disappear. Your business will hit a point where you're either going to burn out, go bankrupt, or just be eaten alive by competitors, right? Where you can't compete anymore. So the shift number 1, go from manual to automated so that you have different systems in your business that function independently, 24/7 behind the scenes. The second shift is that from all over the place, you are going to go from unclear to, or unstructured to structured and streamlined. Here you're going to publicize and educate to boost authority. So in the first one, automated lead generation. In the second one, streamlined conversion system, so you're building authority behind the scenes. And third one, you go to a heavily monetized and automated system that can function independently that you don't have to be involved every day. So the result of these automation and workflow systems that I just described to you are that you can make more money, more control, have more freedom, and have more fun in this process. So if this makes sense to you, I want to make sure I give you a simple no-brainer money-back offer. This is something I've tested many times. For $1,500, which is a 3-month program, $500 a month, we're willing to install these exact systems in your business. And listen, if it doesn't make sense to you in 3 months, try it out. And if it doesn't make sense, just let us know. We'll give you back a full refund, right? So $1,500 is what this implementation program does cost. It's interactive, it's structured, it's a community group-based system that I'm offering to audience here. It's not offered anywhere else. It's a program we used to run and we closed it. You have the course material and you have a live strategy call every 2 weeks where we go through questions and answer them in one-on-one. We're also going to give you one-on-one strategy sessions, like I mentioned, and help you get the answer that you're looking for. Like I said, ROI is absolute infinite. The systems where we describe to you the simple mechanics of how to attract, how to convert, and how to deliver and scale your business are going to be things you can use forever. In addition, I'm going to give you a bonus 2 free tickets to the workshops and 12-month access to all the material that we have posted. So if this makes sense, I welcome you to reach out to me on Bashani Radio. There's a link to my Facebook page. Make sure you go there and send me a message so that I know this is something you're interested in, that you want to try in your business, and you want to take your business to the next step. So with that, the 3 words of my advice to you this week are go for it. Okay, it's that simple. If you've been wanting to do Facebook ads, wanting to test Instagram, wanting to test LinkedIn or something else, just go for it. These systems are designed so that users like you and I, the average person, the non-tech geek, quote unquote, can use them. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs and minds, I wish you all the best this week. Once again, you're tuned in to attorney Sid Padinti here with Entrepreneur Empowered. And that's it for the week. I will catch you next week.